Research reveals falling in love helps to stabilize the personalities of people who are neurotic. Brains bind us to the music we heard as teenagers more tightly than anything we'll hear as adults. A connection that doesn't weaken as we age, according to research. The more altruistic people are, the more sexual partners they have and the more frequently they have sex. One person seems more beautiful when surrounded by a group of attractive friends. It is known as the group attractiveness effect. Coffee is expected to be more aromatic when served in narrow mugs as compared to wide mugs. Research says the shape of a cup influences consumers' coffee taste expectations. People tend to be more creative when they are self-motivated rather than waiting for someone or something to motivate them. People who are less committed to their partners are more likely to use deception as an attempt to withdraw from the relationship. People who experience distrust tend to think in unusual, novel, and critical ways about situations. A lot of companies use black color for high-end products, because black represents power, tradition, elegance, and sophistication, according to psychology. When superiors, such as teachers or managers, anticipate low performance from a subordinate, it can result in poor performance by the subordinate. This psychological process is called the golem effect. A psychological phenomenon where people recollect something that actually did not happen is called the Mandela effect. The natural tendency of human beings to overestimate their achievements and capabilities in relation to others is called as Lake Wobegon effect. A psychological phenomenon in which people become emotionally attached to a machine or other digital objects is called the Tamagotchi effect. Information is better remembered if it is generated from one's own mind rather than simply read. This psychological phenomenon is called the generation effect. People high in narcissism are more likely to be aggressive than others, whether they are provoked or not. But the risk for aggression is significantly higher when they feel provoked, such as being ignored or insulted. When different people have a conflicting description of the same event, it is called the Rashomon effects in psychology. A cognitive bias in which travelers tend to miscalculate the time taken to traverse routes depending on the familiarity of the route is called the well-traveled road effect. It becomes more difficult to detect local feature changes in an upside-down face, despite identical changes being obvious in an upright face. This psychological phenomenon is called the Thatcher illusion. Maternal depression increases the feelings of being overwhelmed with the parenting role. It contributes to hostility and lack of warmth in the family environment, which in turn affects a child's mental health negatively. When a person's self-esteem is threatened, he or she immediately begins to lie at higher levels. According to research, self-acceptance is one of the ways to a happier life, yet it's the happy habit many people practice the least. According to research, optimists tend to have higher levels of mental and physical functioning than pessimists. The emotional bias that causes individuals to value an owned object higher, often irrationally, than its market value is called the endowment effect. If you share something meaningful and important during a conversation, you are likely to get something meaningful and important exchanged in return, leading to a considerably better conversation. No matter where you are in the world, people will recognize if you make a sad, happy, disgusted, fearful, surprised or angry face. These emotions are called universal emotions. Infants coming from homes with domestic violence often go on to have worse academic outcomes in school due to neurodevelopmental lags and a higher risk for a variety of health issues. People who don't ruminate or blame themselves for their difficulties may experience lower levels of depression and anxiety, even if they'd experienced many negative events in their lives. Using clear, succinct terms helps you entice customers and nudge them to convert. For example, 200 women agreed, instead of a third of participants agreed. This psychological trick is called the framing effect. If you have a hostile workplace, or a supervisor who's aggressive, or some dynamics with colleagues that feel intimidating or toxic, that can trigger prior memories for people who have had trauma. Regularly helping others reduces depression symptoms and increases the sense of life satisfaction and well-being. When you hold the hand of a loved one, it lowers your worry and pain. According to research, those who feel young at heart, or at least younger than their actual age, tend to live healthier, longer lives. Lack of sex in the long term eventually turns a person into a neurotic. People with unhealed emotional wounds tend to get annoyed with others for no apparent reason. Too little uncertainty about something fails to provoke curiosity, while too much uncertainty provokes anxiety. We hate it when our friends become successful because we're most envious of those who are similar to us. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss any new facts. Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comments section down below, and feel free to stay and enjoy until the end. Also make sure to check out our next highlighted video, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.